Hey, what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Rayge, and we are back today to talk about the rank leaderboards that we have right now, but more specifically, the recent events that we've had relating back to ISO8 Purple, because we've seen in the last few weeks, anyway, since the introduction, the ISO8 Purple is still going to be here for another month. So I wanted to make a video on this, guys, because no one's really talking about it, and I am a little, unfortunately not really pleased with the results of what's happened with the recent leaderboards. So I want to talk about that in addition to bringing some awareness for you folks that are engaged. And obviously, for those of you receiving advice to, utilize energy and use power cores and so forth, this is a very limited opportunity that we can earn the limited ISO8 Purple, specifically for Dark Dimension 8, ultimately unlocking Odin, of course, which is obviously going to be very, very important. I suspect he's going to be a meta-changing character, and without a doubt, a top priority for many folks. But having said that, many players are, rushing into these events really blindly and not really accounting for the resource management side. And I want to talk about that because I'm being free to play myself. I've ranked very, very well on both these events. So I do want to share my experience as well as my insight and how to best prepare going forward, because as limited as these resources are, they are not the do or die, right? Obviously, other aspects of the game do matter, such as, going through arena battles, your raids, being engaged in war. If you want to be taking advantage of all those other resources as well, you have to be mindful of that. So these leaderboards typically only last for a week for every event, so they're not do or die, they're not everything, but obviously it plays a big factor if you guys are planning strategically, and that is what I want to talk about. So I think the best way to show you the context is how I did on both these events and kind of what I've discovered, and I might actually be taking a step back now from these events because of the amount of investment and resources that were required for a result that actually wasn't too pleasing. But yeah, let me show you a case for you guys here first. So this was the very first one, Radioactive Prep. And again, keep in mind, guys, my account is free to play. So there was no spending. There was no money going into any of this. This was just excellent resource management and me hoarding campaign energy and making the most of what I have, right? We were able to rank in the top 5,000 here, and the results to me were pretty good because this is the first time that any ISO8 Purple event has come, and we were able to rank in the top 5,000. We hoarded about 2,700 campaign energy. I have an analysis on that later, so I'll just show you after that. But you can see the big takeaway from this was the fact that we got a lot of these ISO8 Purple ions, and it's been mapped out to be around 9 million in total that you would need. So 800k out of the 9 million that you would need, that's not a bad start. That's not a bad start to getting ahead, getting some characters ready to go here for Dark Dimension 8. And more importantly, 400,000 of those radioactive treats utilized in the ISO8 Purple store, which is, in my eyes, pretty valuable, especially if you were jumping down to the next ranking here in 5,000 to 7,500. You would be missing out on 200,000 of those ions and 100,000 in the ISO8 Purple treat. So it was pretty good in my honest opinion. And even with the orbs, you were getting 16 orbs versus 12. That to me is actually decent value, considering this was the first time that the event ran. And I was pretty happy with the results, to be honest, especially with the investment that you'll see later on. Now, let's talk about the recent one with Diamond Claws. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am still in the top 2,500 ranking, but the amount of investment I've had to make for this event is really night and day from the radioactive event. You can see here, being top 2,500, it does give us this opportunity here for 15 orbs of the Purple 8 orb fragments there. We also have 700,000 in the ions, and as well 350k of the purple treat. So not as much as the previous event, but my ranking is almost doubly better than the previous, and you'll see in the investment here it was pretty sizable. The difference with Diamond Claws compared to the Radioactive Prep is the fact that there's actually a power core component tied back. So for this one, first of all, I was more ready. I had double the campaign energy ready to go. I had power cores as another secondary resource, but because of those two working in conjunction with one another, it also made this event a lot more competitive than the previous event. Also, what I don't have here on my screenshot is that the top 1,000 players also get a diamond and Old Man Logan as part of the rewards too. So that also probably furthered into the competition of those wanting to spend. And then, like I said, with power cores being available, that created another resource for folks to utilize. Hence, the competition was ramped up quite a bit. You can already even see it from the point differentials here, right? 111,000 points. Actually, that's not bad. 111,000 points compared to 135. But I think this one was a little harder to score because there wasn't as much avenues here. But if you were partaking, campaign energy and power cores were the differentiators. So how does this look back to back? And this is kind of what flagged my caution here, and as well as my concern, because if this is going to be a similar trend going forward here until these events run out in September, I would actually caution you folks to maybe take a step back from this. So let's take a look at Radioactive. This is the overall summary. About 2,700 campaign energy was saved beforehand, and we spent about, close to 4,000 power cores, let's just say. Okay, it wasn't I wasn't keeping track of this figure, but I was estimating and ballparking what I did. And campaign energy was the unlimited scoring method. There was no other way after you maxed out the other scoring opportunities. So you can see, like I said, 16 orbs, 800k in ions, and then 400,000 in the radioactive treats. Conversely, night and day, Diamond Claws event, we had 5,500 campaign energy. I was making videos on hoarding energy nonstop for this because we knew this leaderboard was coming, in addition to a Diamond Logan being available. That wasn't really my priority. It was more so the ISO8 purple. But you can see here, we have quadrupled the power cores utilized in this event, ladies and gentlemen. You can see 15 to 16,000. 10,000 of that actually came from me trying to unlock Gore, which we did. But it was all intentional. Gore is probably the least impactful member out of the 3 Annihilators, the new Annihilators, right? So they strategically placed this character unlock during this event, so that way they would know folks are using power cores to unlock them. And on top of that, it was also in conjunction with the first one utilizing power cores and campaign energy for unlimited scoring. But you can see all across the board, everything dipped, right? The orbs dipped, the ions provided was only 700,000, and additionally on top of that, radioactive treats actually decreased to 350,000. Yes, you get the dark diamond, but that doesn't mean diddly squat in this, because I was only gunning for ISO8 purple. So we actually got depreciating returns for doubling our ranking here. Being in the top 2,500 is a lot more competitive than, the top 2,500 to 5,000, in my honest opinion, right? Like, that was a far cry away. So huge heads up for you guys. For those of you trying to maximize these events going forward, I think the hotspot is probably going to be staying around that 5,000 to 7,500 range, because ultimately it didn't really translate much. Like, I'm pleased with myself that this is the results that have come for me personally, being free to play. But was it worth it? Was it worth all the power cores utilized and the campaign energy that and the resource management involved? I'm not sure. I probably could have used half the power cores and I would have still ended up being in the top 5k anyways, and that could have been used for furthering other character unlocks in the future, including Thanos Endgame that's coming this Friday. So just food for thought. So final results, remember, ISO8 purple events end on September as per the store day's expiration if you check in game. So that's when we would expect that these events would run till, just because they wouldn't take the store out before the events end. That wouldn't give us an opportunity to use them. It looks like there is, unfortunately, diminishing leaderboard rewards. Maybe I'm counting my chickens before they hatch here, but counting my eggs before they hatch here. But it could be due to the fact that there was power cores involved. Maybe the next leaderboard where it's just campaign energy or ISO8, it could be a little bit more reasonable. But in my honest opinion, the Diamond Claws was a very bad leaderboard as a result of the efforts that we put in. So just be careful, guys. I just want to make this video for you to be careful with your resources, because if this is what we're seeing right now, then the best leaderboards may already be well behind us, because this is the first one that came, and it looks like there's already diminishing returns coming in the way of these rewards. So we will see. Only time's gonna tell. The next leaderboard event is expected for next week, so we will see what those rewards look like and then do a further analysis. But I just wanted to get you guys up to speed with where I'm at. Top 2,500 for Diamond Claws and top 5,000 for Radioactive. But it was very disappointing to see that there was some depreciation here in terms of rewards, especially given that we had double the input here in terms of resources, which to me, for a free-to-play player, we always want to maximize our effectiveness, and this was a huge detraction from that. So I'm going to be switching my game plan here for sure, and we'll see what the next leaderboard looks like, but I'll keep you guys up to date. Do let me know what you think in comments below. If you agree or disagree, always eager to hear back. Thank you for your time as always, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.